What's going on, everyone? We're back here in Module 5. I want to start off by saying I'm really proud of a lot of you. You guys are making amazing progress throughout this course. Some of you have gotten through all of that and are now building out your portfolios. And one of you in particular actually just got paid for their second portfolio shoot. Now, previously, I told you guys were probably going to be shooting houses for free, whether for your family, friends, or coworkers, whoever it is. And that's what's going to help you build up your portfolio. But one of our founding members has actually gotten paid on his second portfolio shoot. So big congrats to you, buddy. You know who you are. And I got a case study testimonial coming your way so that you guys can actually hear it from him and his experience getting as far as he did thus far. But now in this particular module, what I want to talk about is outreach, a long awaited topic by a lot of you. Now, just to go over the basics, there are 3 outreach methods that every single business on the planet can take advantage of: cold calling, cold emailing, and cold DMing. Now, a lot of you are brand new to sales and entrepreneurship, as I was when I first started my drone media company. But some of you have experience in sales. Some of you have experience running your own business. So I'm not here to tell you which one of these 3 is the most perfect fit for you. However, in the beginning, when starting my journey, I didn't know which one was going to be the best course of action. So I tried all 3. But as a beginner entrepreneur who only had experience upselling different food items at a local restaurant he used to work for, I quickly found out that cold calling was not it for me. Because at the end of the day, cold calling is not a beginner level skill. It takes a good amount of experience actually doing it and a lot of practice to actually become half decent at what you're trying to sell. The whole casually getting on a phone call, or at least trying to make it a casual approach as possible so that they don't feel like you're selling them off the back, like making it an even playing field of conversation where the person you're calling actually wants to hear you out, is, in my opinion, the hardest part. And even after you get that point, you have to make sure that you're not saying too much or too little that's going to defer them away from actually hearing you out all the way. And even right now, by no means am I a cold calling expert. At this point, I'm much more skilled in actually talking to somebody who has some interest in what I'm selling. So by no means can you completely avoid calls in general, but to increase your rate of success on that call, it's best if the person you're speaking to actually approaches you first or understands who you are and what you do prior to the actual call. We'll make it 10 times more easier for you to actually lock in the sale, or at the very least, start a relationship or make a connection with that real estate professional. And even before that, the amount of work that needs to be done with finding professionals online, building an email list, building a call list, and then spending all the time and energy to make those calls, in my opinion, it's just not worth your time as a beginner to put all your energy into that outreach method. Cold emails are okay, but they also have their restrictions as well. If you want to send out cold emails, make sure that it's a business email, because if you're sending it through a business email, it's less likely to end up in their spam folder. Don't use clickbait titles. They don't work anymore. Business professionals in general hate getting cold emails, especially from other businesses that are trying to do business with them. So cold emailing alone has this kind of weird reputation to it. You also want to make sure that you're not sending out more than 15 to 20 emails per day. Otherwise, your email account can get flagged by Gmail or whichever other email service provider you use. When sending out cold emails, the best title to go ahead and put down is your first, last name, hard line, and then your phone number. During my time working with accountants and lawyers making their content for them, I learned that this is the typical subject email format that they actually open and that they actually perceive to be a serious email. Because when you start the subject matter off with your name and phone number, it kind of goes without saying, read my email and call me now. I learned with white collar professionals specifically that their most upscale client inquiries will come in like this. Just make sure your email is less than 5 sentences long. People hate reading long emails, especially if it's from someone that they've never heard of before. On a side note, if you are looking for emails, the best place to find emails, if you have the person's name, is Facebook. I've made tons of email lists in the past, and really having to track down and find somebody's email on the internet is one of the most hardest things. But what a lot of people don't realize is the easiest place to find them is one of the most popular sites on the web, Facebook. I spent 30-40 minutes at a time just looking for one person's email that I really wanted to contact. What I realized was I could quite literally type their name or their company name into Facebook, and 98% of the time, it's sitting there in their profile. So even a lot of the white collar professionals that don't want you to find their email anywhere on the internet can be found directly on their Facebook profile. Don't ask me how or why, that just turns out to be how it is. A lot of the time when you can't find the exact professional's contact information that you're looking for, you'll end up finding their office number. And from that point on, it's very difficult to get past their gatekeeper. Their gatekeeper is usually their administration desk. While this is an amazing person to build rapport with to actually get to the professional you're trying to get to, they can be the hardest people to get past. A lot of professionals typically have their administrators go through their email and their phone calls and their voicemails from the day before actually going and telling them, you need to call this person, you need to respond to this email, you need to do this, and etc. So one great way you can utilize both cold calling and cold emailing together, which will give you the highest rate of success rather than using them separately, is the following. Get the office number of the place you're trying to contact. On Sunday night, you're going to leave them a voicemail. You're going to say, hey, this is Rayhan Muhammad. I'm leaving you a quick voicemail letting you know that I just sent you an email. Please call me back when you see it. I know it's something that insert professional's name really does not want to miss out on seeing. Now you're going to send in a concise email, less than 5 sentences, with the same subject title I just gave you. Your name, phone number. That's it. It can be something very short and sweet like, is there any reason why you aren't posting drone photos or videos like this on your listings and social media to help you sell more homes? And what you're going to do is you're going to hyperlink the word this. The hyperlink can be linked to your portfolio or even your YouTube account where they can go ahead and see all your drone photos and videos. And I say hyperlinks rather than just pasting a link because through my research, I've learned that people are less likely to click on links because they feel like it's scammy or it could lead to a page that they don't want to open. And they're more likely to click on hyperlinks. What you can even do is go on Loom, that's Loom, create a video like the one you're watching right now, where you briefly introduce yourself and where you can walk them through some of your videos and photos that you've done in the past, whether it's in their town or not in their town. And you can go through your prices with them and even a custom offer if you have one for that specific individual. Link that in the hyperlink, and I promise you it's going to come off much more personable and custom to them, and they will feel obligated to respond to you. You can even make a generic one. So at this point, they've seen you on camera, they know you're a real person, they know that you're local to them, they know that you do this type of work, and you're more trustworthy off the back, even to just have a casual conversation with where they want to get more information from you. So you did the voicemail on Sunday, you sent the email on Sunday. Now Monday morning, you're actually going to give the office a call and ask if they received your email. Usually they're going to say something like, oh, we just got to the office, we're going through the emails right now, we'll get back to you. Cool, leave it at that. You are already in the process of building rapport. You left a voicemail, you've called and spoken to them once, and they're guaranteed to view your email. So that's if you can't find the exact email of the exact individual that you're trying to reach and you have to get through a gatekeeper. However, if you have the exact email of the professional that you're trying to reach, your subject title should be a lot more casual, like, hey, Rich, hey, Mandy, hey, David. Leave that as a subject line. Now, the actual email is going to say something like, I want you to see how I helped other contractors in your area document the entire build out process. I guarantee this will be the best few minutes you've ever invested. Put your name at the bottom and leave it at that. Now, my gripe with emailing is the fact that you can only send 15 to 20 emails a day until Gmail or any other email provider you use is going to start blacklisting you as a spam email sender. So you're limited. So my main issues with cold calling and cold emailing, there are too many things that can get in the way of them even finding out who you are, what you do, why you do it, and why you're even talking to them about it. That's a lot of information to go through in the right way on cold emails and cold calling. Now, I'm not against you doing cold calls. I'm against you doing cold calls right now in the beginning stages of this entire operation, in the beginning stages of you even becoming an entrepreneur. It's not going to give you the most amount of return on the limited time you have to currently invest. But when you get more experience speaking to these professionals in these real estate industries, when you get a better feel of how the conversation flows, when you get a better feel of how they like to be spoken to as that specific type of real estate professional, when you start to understand their pain points, when you start to understand why they might hire you, why they might not hire you, what's a deal breaker to them, what's not a deal breaker to them, what are things you thought that they really care about that they actually don't even care about, what are the things that they do care about that you had no idea even mattered. And that's why I like to have calls once I've established some sort of rapport on another platform, on another medium, whatever the case is, and then have the phone call, because now they know who you are. You've established some sort of relationship with them. And having gone through a bunch of those types of conversations where you're more set up for success will enable you and make you a lot more comfortable with actually doing cold calls. So at this moment in time, we're going to leave cold calls on the back burner. You need some experience having some lower pressure conversations with these professionals, because at the end of the day, the best form of outreach that's going to be best for you is going to be the form of outreach that you're most comfortable doing while being able to do it consistently. Before going that route, you need to understand what high-level professionals like to see, hear, and how they want to feel, whether in a cold calling scenario or a cold email that will actually convert into sales. So while we might have a lot less familiarity and experience dealing with these two forms of outreach, what I do know you know how to do is dropping likes, dropping comments, sending short messages as DMs, and posting on social media. But before we get into all that, I want you to watch this quick testimonial video I just shot with one of the founding members in this exact workshop who is already running through all these actionable steps and making it happen for himself.